The Empire State Building, The Process by Teresa, Maria, Caroline, and Lisa. The Empire State Building is a 102-story skyscraper located in Midtown Manhattan, New York City, at the intersection of 5th Avenue and West 34th Street. It has a roof height of over 1,250 feet, and it stands a total of 1,454 feet high. It stood as the world's tallest building for 40 years, from its completion in 1931 until construction of the World Trade Center's North Tower was completed in 1972. It is designed in the distinctive Art Deco style that has been named as one of the 7 wonders of the modern world by the American Society of Civil Engineers. The Empire State Building was designed by William F. Lamb from the architectural firm Shreve, Lamb & Harmon, which produced the building's drawings in just 2 weeks, using its earlier designs from the Reynolds Building in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and the Carew Tower in Cincinnati, Ohio, as a basis. The building was designed from the top down. Excavation of the site began in January 22, 1930, and construction on the building itself started on March 17, St. Patrick's Day. Governor Smith's grandchildren cut the ribbon on May 1, 1931. The project was completed ahead of schedule and under budget. Instead of taking 18 months as anticipated, the construction just took under 15. Due to reduced costs during the Depression, the final cost totaled only $24.7 million instead of the estimated $43 million. The building was officially opened when the United States President Herbert Hoover turned on the building's lights with a push of a button from Washington, D.C. The Empire State Building features an Art Deco design typical of pre-World War II architecture. The modernistic stainless steel canopies of the entrances on 33rd and 34th Streets lead to 2-story-high corridors around the elevator core, crossed by the stainless steel and glass enclosed bridges on the second floor level. The elevator core contains 67 elevators. The process was financed primarily by John J. Raskob and Pierre S. DuPont. The prime advocate for the building was John J. Raskob, who had been the campaign manager for Al Smith's run for presidency in 1928. Raskob saw that Smith was named to the board, and Smith became the official spokesman of the building for years. Though it was not immediately a success and didn't make much in the way of profits during the Great Depression, when many called it the empty state building. The majority of the workforce were willing European immigrants. About 3,000 men were working on the structure at its height, hundreds, if not thousands, of feet above the city, and the gravity-defying ironworkers balanced on narrow beams or suspended from derrick lines. There was a risk of falling when it rained. When it was bitterly cold, stiff, or numb, hands couldn't hold on to something. According to official accounts, 5 workers died in the construction. Some quotes that I found are, "It isn't really as dangerous as it looks," claimed one of the workers. "It's safe up here. It's safer up here than it is down below," he said, pointing to the chaotic streets. Another one is, "It was kind of a thrill working on the beams. I learned, don't look down, just look at the other end of the beam." The main contractors in charge of building the Empire State Building were the Starrett Corporation, or the Starrett Brothers, consisting of Theodore, Paul, Ralph Goldwyn, and William Starrett. The brothers wanted the world's tallest building in the race for New York City's tallest building. Since the Empire State Building was thought to be the tallest building in New York City, there were 3,000 workers gathered to help build it, consisting of European immigrants, Mohawk ironworkers, and many more. Out of the 3,000 people, there were only 5 deaths. That is much better record than the 60 deaths during the building of the World Trade Center. The workers were able to build 4.5 floors each week, which is crazy fast. Other important people in charge of building the Empire State Building were Shreve, Lamb & Harmon, the architect company, John J. Raskob and Al Smith, the developers, and Homer Gage Balcom, the structural engineer.
Due to the gigantic size of the building, the construction of the Empire State Building took 20 months from start to finish. The people planning to build the building demolished the Waldorf Astoria Hotel to use the spot. And you can see the picture over there is the beginning and the base of the building. Now, even when the Empire State Building was finished ahead of schedule and under budget, the construction process killed at least 5 workers. A quote from Helen Keller states, "As I stood there, twixt earth and sky, I saw a romantic structure wrought by human brains and hands that is to the burning eye of the sun a rival luminary." And this is the second stage of the Empire State Building. The Empire State Building was designed to house corporate offices, but the start of the construction was a bit rocky due to the 1929 stock market crash and the onset of the Great Depression. It was nicknamed the Empty State Building because less than 25% of the building was occupied. And for Stage 3, you can see the building becoming more built.
This picture was taken on August 18, 1930, and about half of the building was complete. In Helen Keller's letter, she stated, "I saw countless skilled workers welding together that mighty symmetry." At this point, the Empire State Building was very symmetrical, and there were about 3,400 men each day that worked on the building. At this stage, this picture was taken on September 8, 1930. The contractors of the building used an assembly line to complete the Empire State Building in only 410 days. The workers also built 4.5 stories per week, which was very fast. This part of the construction of the Empire State Building was on November 10, 1930. In Helen Keller's letter, she stated, "I looked upon the marvel of frail yet indomitable hands that lifted the tower to its dominating height. When completed, the building was 102 stories tall."